Dr. J here from the She Protects YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to talk about 8 safety tips for women. Anything from what do you do if somebody hands you that open container drink to why, as a solo female, you should never take a ride share. So if these are things that interest you, stick around. We're going to get into it. Tip number 1, what do you do if somebody hands you an open drink? Well, the short answer is you don't drink it. So let's say you're at a social setting, the symphony, a ball game, you're on a date, something of that nature, and somebody hands you the open drink. I would not drink it. Essentially, what we're trying to do is obviously avoid somebody slipping in something like the date rape drug or something else into your drink. And you're going to have to maneuver the scenario to, depending on where you're at, to make it so that you either watch that drink being poured or you order something like a bottle of wine that's going to be coming from a closed container that is opened at the table in front of you. So tip number 1, don't accept the open drink. Tip number 2, Uber, rideshare, Lyft. If you are a female traveling alone, I would avoid these services. Now it's different. If you are traveling with a group and you're with 2 or 3 friends, that's one thing. But if you're a solo female traveling alone, I would avoid these services. In my opinion, this is the equivalent of hitchhiking. I mean, imagine you're basically getting into a car with a man you don't know. And of course, the companies are going to go to their best efforts to try and hire upstanding individuals. But what if you get the one that slips through the crack that is the predator? So in my opinion, I would not trust taking these types of services traveling alone as a solo female. Tip number 3 is what I call the 20-second rule. And it's focused on situational awareness and knowing your surroundings. So when I get to wherever it is that I'm going, the first thing I'm doing in that first 20 seconds, which most people would not be aware that I was doing, is scanning my environment. I'm becoming situationally aware. I'm looking at who's around me. Where are the exits? What does the overall environment look like? Is there anyone there that looks unusual or out of place? Is there anyone that is drawing my attention in a negative way? You want to listen to your instincts and see if something seems out of place. So tip number 3, the 20-second rule, situational awareness. Take a moment when you get to any new place and scan your surroundings. Tip number 4, invest in some form of self-defense or multiple forms of self-defense. Examples of this would be learning about weaponry. So there's things that you can carry on you to protect yourself: mace, a knife, a tactical pen, learning about firearms. There's self-defense classes. So some of these classes will teach you what do you do if somebody pins your hands up behind you and throws you against a wall, or what do you do if somebody comes up behind you and starts choking you. You can also take a martial art course or select a study or form of martial arts. There's things like Jeet Kune Do, which was Bruce Lee's form of martial art, Taekwondo, Aikido, things like that. So tip number 4, invest in self-defense. Tip number 5, avoid isolated areas. And I'm not talking about avoiding the alley at midnight that is isolated. I'm talking about things that we do in our everyday lives that are common tasks. So for example, pumping gas at a gas station. I don't go at night. I generally pump, I always pump during the day. And I will select a station that I know is not an isolated station, even if it means I have to drive a little bit further. Or let's say you're in a department store and you're shopping and you need to use the restroom. A lot of these restrooms will be set way in the corner, off to the side, and they're quite isolated. In that scenario, wait until you get maybe into the main mall where there's more people around and you use the restroom there. Another example would be, let's say you're going to go work out. Don't choose, if you're hiking or running, don't choose the isolated trail, no matter how much of an urge it can be. Let's say you want to go on a really pretty nature hike or run. If you're alone, it's just too easy to be ambushed. So you want to avoid and go in an area where there's going to be more people around for that workout. So tip number 5, avoid the isolated areas as the single solo female. Tip number 6, have regular maintenance performed on your vehicle. The idea here is we want to minimize the chance that our car breaks down, puts us in a very vulnerable situation. So I'm maintaining my car about every 6,000 to 8,000 miles. You'll have to look and see what is recommended by the type of vehicle that you have. But tip number 6, perform regular maintenance on your vehicle. Tip number 7, learn some of the basics of maintenance around your vehicle. And I'm not talking about going out and performing the tune-ups. I mean, you can if you want to, but I'm really just talking about some of the basics, like checking your oil, and if it's low, knowing how to put a quart of oil in, knowing what type of oil to put in, that's important. Learning how to change a tire. So we've all gotten a flat tire. If you have a husband, boyfriend, fathers around, they're probably going to do that for you. But I'm really talking about the times when you're on your own, you're stranded, you're vulnerable, maybe you can't reach people. If you have these skills, if the tools are in the toolbox, it makes you much less vulnerable. So having the basic knowledge around some of the basics of the car, change a tire, change your oil, knowing about oil types, tire types, brake fluid, coolants, things like this can really come in handy. So tip number 7, know some basics about car maintenance. Tip number 8, carry some form of self-defense weaponry. And this can be as simple as a tactical pen or as advanced as a handgun. And then there's all the things in between, like mace or a switchblade or another form of a knife. So I would definitely carry something, because an attack is never going to come at a convenient time. You're never going to say, oh, wait a minute, I've got to go get my mace. So you just want to be prepared and have something on you at all times so that if it does go down, you can get down to it to try and stop the threat. Okay, so those are 8 safety tips for women. I hope that you found the content of this video to be helpful. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. It's going to really help me know what kind of content to continue to produce for you going forward. And as always, I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I really appreciate it. And we hope to see you in the next one.